So what is a query parameter? With query parameters, we can dynamically change the query's output. So why query parameters are required? Using which we can restrict the users or prevent the users to modify the parameters so that they can view the data which they intend to see it. Okay, that is the whole advantage of that is the whole reason we use query parameters. And also with query parameters, right? So or we can use query parameters via data source and filter rows, keep rows, remove rows, replace rows. These are the places where we can use query parameter. I'll show you how to use the query parameter in these places in Power Query Editor. So in addition, the parameters, right? The parameters, it can be loaded to the data model so that we can reference them from measures, calculated columns, calculated tables, and report elements. Anyhow, at this moment, don't worry about those things. So what we will do is we will take a look at these three use cases. One is how to parameterize a data source. I'm talking about this one, how to parameterize this data source. And then we will move ahead with how to use query parameters in filtering rows. The next one is creating a list query from a table column. How do we do that? Okay, so we will start look at each and every use cases now quickly, and followed by this I will give you some assignments, right? In class you do the assignments. Probably we will take it up at the after 1 hour, so that whatever I can cover the theory part now I'll cover it. The assignment, probably those cannot stay till the end of this session. Probably you can drop off and you can watch my video and you can practice it. Okay, and also solution also discuss this in today's session itself, right, at the end of the assignment. Fine. I hope Lavnish, in that way it will be good for you, right? So there are three different types of parameters. So these are use cases when I can use. What are the situations? What are the scenarios that I can use query parameter? That is different from the types of parameters. There are three different types of parameters. One is any, and other one is list of values and query parameters. First we'll start with explore how to use any parameter. Okay, very simple concept. Okay, there are three steps to create this parameter. Okay, so first step is you need to create a parameter. You can specify whatever name you wanted, but again we should specify some meaningful name. And next step is we need to apply a text filter with the parameter creator. Once you create a parameter, you need to map the parameter with the relevant column. You have a country column, you need to specify where country is equivalent to specify this parameter. Look here. So in Power Query Editor, in the country column, let us assume that in this case, right, in this case country column, we have something called filter rows, right? So when you open it, country, where country equals, instead of specifying country directly, parameter, right? So whatever the name you have created here, right? So that parameter item you need to specify. Once you specify, and if you click on OK, what will happen is when you open the report, it will prompt you like this. Right? It means, right, please enter the country name. So you need to enter. So here with any parameter, we can pass only one value. With any parameter, you can pass only one value at a time. Okay, so let's say in this case North America, I typed it, and then when you click on OK, all the visuals, charts in your report will get refreshed with North America related data only. It is that much simple. We'll start with step 1, step 2, and step 3. Step by step we will see how it I will proceed. Okay, proceed with creating the parameter. To create a parameter, first step is you need to go to the Power Query Editor. You need to click on this transform data ribbon, click on the transform data. So I'm going to select this query. For example, in this case, I have sales W04. It has reasonable amount of data in it. Let it be there. I'm going to minimize these queries. Already these queries I have used it. So I'm going to select. You need to select the query which you want to view the data, right? So I want to view the data of this query, sales W04. What is query? Query is nothing but your table. In Power BI desktop, irrespective of the type of the file that you loaded, it will be considered as a tables. When you open the Power Query Editor, all those tables are called as queries. Remember this. I repeat it one more time. Let's say I'm going to right click on this empty space. Just beneath this, see here we have empty space. I just right click on it. I'm going to create new parameter. This is our first step. Remember it. Parameter 1. Okay, so here what I do is I just say country parameter. Okay, and here the data type. So it is required. Okay, so if you don't specify anything, it will not allow you to proceed further. So what is the data type? Your country parameter, it is a text data type. And suggested values, these are the 3 types of parameters. You remember in the PowerPoint I showed you any list of values query, that is what suggested value, any value or list or query. I'm going to select any value. The current value I'm going to specify in the country column. I'm going to say New York. I just click New York or United States. So let me just check it here itself in the power here. North America. New York is a state, it is not a country. There's something like some default value. Okay, so current value, if I specify this one, see my parameter name is country parameter. So North America current value, you can specify whatever the country name that are present in your country column. Okay, so North America is already there. I just created the parameter now. Okay, the step 1 is create the parameter. So I know very well. So in the country column, I have something called North America. So I want to pass the value dynamically to the country column. So that's the reason why I created the parameter. So don't think the parameter is only for country column. Okay, you can create a parameter for any column. But here you need to specify the meaningful name so that later point in time it will be easier for you to refer. In real time scenario, we will be using a lot of parameters. In the interview, they'll ask you what is dynamic reporting. So parameters, will be passing parameters. Okay, so that when you use the parameters, your report will be dynamic. Fine. The next thing is step 1 is over, and step 2 is now you need to use this parameter, isn't it? Where you will be using it? In this data set, sales W04. This parameter, we created it to pass it to my country column. So hence I'm going to click on this drop down menu. Here you will find text filters. And if you go here and select equals, it will take some time and it will open a dialog box, something like this. Here you have some basic, advanced. Let us use basic. Look here, keep rows where country equals, and here in this one you can see 2 options are available, 3 options are text, parameter or new parameter. So by default text is there because country is the text data type, and if I click on here, it shows all the country name. So whichever country I want, I can select it, but this is not a good practice. So for testing purpose you can select it. So you want to select Cambodia, you can select it, but this is not the right way of doing it. What we are doing is, so I'm going to clear this filter. Step 2 is we need to use that filter. We need to map that filter with the column. So in this case, we want to map that column, the parameter with the country column equals If I select this one, the drop down list, I'm going to select parameter. Instead of 1 to ABC, instead of ABC, I'm going to select parameter. See, look here, automatically the country parameter got copied. So on the left side, you can see, right, the moment when I created the country parameter, it is appearing on the left side, isn't it? This is the one the moment when I selected parameter here, automatically it is getting displayed here. If you have created more than one parameter, when you select this, when you click on this drop down, you will find many parameter here. Since we have created only one parameter, automatically it picked up here, country parameter. You got it? On what condition we pass parameter real time, sir? That is what I explained, right? Let's go that little later. First understand the concept and then we will get into the application part. First understand this one. Okay, see, first we create the parameter. It's pretty simple, right? And this parameter we mapped it here with the country column. Our intention is whenever the user open the report, it should prompt them to enter the country name. It should prompt them in order to enable the report to prompt automatically. You need to create a parameter, assign the parameter with the column. Which column you wanted to get the value from the user, country column, right? So where country equals country parameter. You can give whatever name you wanted. I have given country parameter. Step 2 is over. I just click on OK. See, look here in the country parameter, I have specified default value as which country name. How many of you noticed it? Which country name I mentioned it? North America, right? So country equals North America. Whatever the value that I mentioned it, that one will get assigned here. That one will copy it. So this variable is like a container. What is a variable? Or this variable is or it's a parameter, right? It's a parameter. It's kind of a container, right? It holds that value. What value? North America. So where country equals North America, so it will filter only North America in this column. Okay, there is nothing called North America. So here, since it is not showing anything, hence I'm going to clear the filter. So here, what values are there here? United States, right? So I intentionally did this. I gave North America intentionally. I just go back to the first step, click on the manage parameter. Let's say once you created the parameter, next step is how to modify that, United States. Click on OK. And if I go back to sales W04, so creating the parameter is not sufficient. You need to use that, right? So how do I use that? The country column. So my intention is I want to use it in a country column. Similarly, you can use it for other state column, city column also. Where country equals, I'm going to select here parameter. Importantly, you need to select this one, okay? Country parameter. So that the parameter which you created already will get selected automatically. If you have created more than one parameter, it will show multiple parameters. You need to choose which parameter you want to map it here. Just wait for some time. Look here, United States. It filtered only the United States. Okay, fine. Step 2 is over. Don't worry about anything else. First step is creating the parameter. Second step is you need to map this. You need to use this parameter, which means you need to map this parameter to any one of the columns in this table. See, in my case, I want the users to enter the country name when they open the report. Hence, I mapped this parameter with the country column. Next step is I just click on close and apply. So next, the step 3. I just get into the step 3. Look here. So this is other error. Okay, let us ignore that one in simple way. Okay, let me just That's what, if you have any error, right, this will not work. Let me simply load completed. Not this, yeah, you need to click on the edit parameters to test. Okay, so I created a parameter by the name of country parameter. I mapped this parameter for the country column, a column by the name of country, wherein I specified the default value as United States while I define the parameter. Right, so that is why it shows United States. You see now what happened. I just click on OK. Ideally, I should have created some visual here. Let me just this is a table visual. Okay, and those of you are completely new one, don't panic, it's very simple one, and I'll explain you later. Okay, so sales, so look here, I'm going to drag and drop category column into this table, and then the sales, I just drag and drop it here. And then we have country here. Look here, only United States related data got selected. Only the subset, multiple countries data are available in this table. Since we have inputted United States here, right? I'll just show you one more time. Edit parameters. When you click on this, here we have inputted United States. It selected only the subset of this United States country related data. So there are three categories, right? So this company is selling products under these three categories. I don't want to see all the countries sales for each category. Only for United States, in each category, how much sales we made, what is the total sales, overall sales, all these three categories put together we made. Yeah, recording is going on, Shweta. Look here, it is going on. Okay. By the way, good. Please remind me whenever it is, right? Even I might forget. That's a big problem. It will happen if I don't. That's one way. Good. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. So United States, and then I remember Germany is there. So now what happens? I'm going to put another country name here, Germany. Okay. When I click on OK here, Germany related data will be filtered and it will show that Germany related data only here. In simple Excel, you go and filter, right? Select something. See, in Excel, what we do? Look here, this is my data set. You just select this one, employee name or employee name. Go to data and click on filter. And if you select only specific people, isn't it? So here I just want to see Chris and Stephen. Click on it, only this one. But here you have complete freedom, right? So you, whatever, for example, if you select all, it will display all the employees. This is, it is not the secured way of doing it, isn't it? In real time scenario, in this Excel, you just think we have millions and millions of records are there. All you need to see is, well, just two guys data. If you don't filter it, what will happen? It will show all these. So it will take a lot of time. So when it comes to Power BI, right? So you have the parameter option. With the parameter option, you can enable the user to enter the country which they wanted to see the data. Let's say you are a Germany country manager. You are supposed to see only the Germany related data, so that only the subset of the data will be fetched from the database or from the table. Hence the performance will be faster. See, now the value got changed. So Germany country, right? This one you can ignore it. This is related to some other issue. I know, I will just fix it now itself. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Can someone tell me, how well you remember these 3 steps? See, from next week and onwards, right? Even if the session gets delayed, let it be there. And I want you all to start practice it, in this session itself. Okay, so that you will remember everything. I could see most of you were not practicing it because of office work, family thing, right? I understood, but still, let us spend some hands-on sessions. At least initially, if you spend some time in class, look at Germany. It filtered only Germany-related data. Now you understood. So I just summarize what we did. The first step was step 1, create the parameter. That's the basic thing, isn't it? Step 1, create parameters. Create parameter. Step 2, map the parameter to specific column. Whichever column you want, you can map that to that. Step 3, we need to test it, isn't it? Test it whether whatever the parameter we created is working fine or not. How do we test it? For that purpose, we have to come here. Lovnish, country name is always camel case, or name should be same as it should be same as it is case sensitive, right? Better you can specify the column, the name, whatever you mentioned it there. Okay, fine. So here the first step is create parameters, second step is this one, third step is this one. Okay, right? So go and download the one file, right? So the employee file, something like employee dot, I just check it out because my system is hanging. So let's do some kind of multitasking. Instead of waiting that one to get resolved, you just go here, employee, press enter. It is not coming up. You just scroll down on the left side. Look here. Forget about all these things. Okay, this is not nowhere related to you. Don't get confused with all these things. You just think only one table, sales W04 only is there in your system. Okay, and then in the empty space, right click on it, you will find new parameter. When you click on it, it will open something like this. This is the first step. So I have given the name as country parameter. Right, country parameter. Here I did not, you don't have to specify anything here. And the next one, look here, already it exists, already created, isn't it? I'll have to give some other name. I just give some short name because I'm not going to create it. I'll just show you. So here data type. So country is a what data type? Is a date data type or the time or text? The text data type. Suggested values. What type of query parameter? There are 3 types other. Any value. I just will start with any value. And what value you want to use it by default. So I know very well. So in that we have something called United States is there, right? So you ideally specify the proper case. Okay, don't use uppercase all the thing. Okay, so camel case, start with whatever the way they store the data, right? The same way you type it here and click on OK. Your parameter is ready. When you click on OK, parameter will get created. How do you make sure the parameter got created? So once you create the parameter, you will see it here, somewhere here. So look here, country parameter. First step is create the parameter. Once the parameter get created, and come and check whether the parameter got created or not. And suppose you made a mistake while creating the parameter and then you realized it later, you just click on this parameter name on the left side. It will open something like Germany. Right here, instead of using Germany, you can specify the default values United States. Or if you think you did not make any mistake here, the type of the parameters I made a mistake, and you click on manage parameters so that you can modify it one more time. You come back here, So here I've given, let's I've given time data type. It is not a time data type, it's a text data type. You can modify it and then go back and click. If you make any mistake, you can click manage parameter. When you click on the manage parameter, it will open this dialog box. Here you can make all the changes, click on OK. Lavanish, yeah, for current value you have to go to table. Yeah, you see, by heart I know, right? So what value is there in table, I know that, right? Okay, next step is I created the parameter. What is the second step? Map the parameter to specific column. So which column? So I have created a parameter for a country column. So in the sales table, I just go and see where the country column is there. So here this is where the country column. What I do is I just click on this drop down thing. So I just remap it one more time, because see, second step is mandatory, okay? And click on this drop down in the country column, and then here what I do is text filters equals look here, when you click on equals, it opens a dialog box or pop-up window, something like this, right? So here you can see filter rows. Basically you are filtering the rows. Basic, country equals, when you click on it, you can see all the country. I don't want to select any country name, just like this, which means we are hard coding. We don't want to do that. Instead we want to use this parameter which I created it here. Click on it, click on the parameter. Look here, this one got, this one is displaying automatically since I selected parameter. Next, click on OK. What value I assign to the country parameter? How many of you remember it? Let me see how many of you paying your attention here. United States, right? This is the one I specified. Look here, I'll just show you. I just click on the country, but look here, this is the default value specified, right? So this value gets copied automatically. I did not specify this one. I just simply specified the country parameter there. This, right? So if you are able to understand, all of you please type it in the chat window so that let's not repeat the same thing. Okay, we will have one more hands-on session separately for non-programmers. Next session you have to work on it. Okay, fine. The second step is over. Now we mapped this and now we need to test it, isn't it? Next one is close and apply. Aruna understood. How about Shweta? Both Shweta and who else? And Rashmi is there, and Shreyas are able to understand. I think Shreyas. Vishal, you need some time. Vishal, I understood, don't worry. Okay, and some error is there, you can ignore it. Let's wait for some, close it. Rashmi was able to understand. Okay, now the third step, test it. So go to transform and edit parameters. You need to click on the edit parameters. This is where we will be doing. Now we are not going to the table get the parameter, right? We are creating the parameter without going to the table, isn't it, Lavanish? See, we went to the query parameter, sorry, Power Query Editor. There we created the parameter. Let me see, what is your question? Is there any other ways not to go to table and get the parameter for current value? For current value, yes, you need to specify the existing value, isn't it? See, that is the thing. When the customer gives the data, you need to go through on it. That is the first step. As a data analyst, first we need to explore the data. What, at least, right, we cannot remember all the values. What values are in each and every. As a data analyst or data scientist, you need to be very much familiar with the data. Remember this. Learning in real-time scenario, if you know the data very well, half of your headache is gone. Okay, so first you need to explore the data and go through the data and understand what values are there. Okay, so default value you need to specify there. Okay, so now look here, the third step is test it. how I clicked, where I clicked on it, transform data. When I clicked on transform data, edit parameter option was there. When I clicked on this, it shows, right, it is prompting me to enter the value for this parameter. So when I, so by default one is United States, I can change it whatever I wanted. So I know very well in this country column there is a country by the name of Germany is there. I just typed Germany because I am handling only Germany country related data. I want to view only the Germany related data. So here when I type the Germany, this value will get assigned to this variable. This one will get copied inside of this one. You just think that way. This one will get copied into this variable. And what will happen is there in the country column is specified country where country equal to country parameter, right? So it will filter only Germany related data here. So now you understood. So this is one of the real-time scenario. In the real-time scenario, so what will happen is, see, we are in the real-time scenario, we are not going to see, the end user is not going to test it. For example, Lavnish, you are my reporting user. I just go to the file menu, file ribbon, and I'll export it as Power BI template. I just repeat it, listen very carefully. File ribbon, here you will find export option. When you click on export, you will have two options here, Power BI template. When I click on it, apply, it will take some time. It is creating a template. So what is this template file? Template file will hold only the report structure, not the data model, data itself. Okay, that will not have the data. Okay, fine. So now we have exported this one. Now I just go and check where it is in data, dat1, isn't it? It is in the dat1 folder. Just go here. Or I'll just sort it by the date. So today is the latest one will come. No, the latest one will come up. Sorry. Power BI. So here what is this one? Dat1. How you know that is in dat folder? Who asked this question? I know very well because I saved it there only, right? Look here, I'm using that folder as the base location. Okay, so save as, you can save wherever you want it. So dat1, right? So here it is there. I see it's already there. Parameter PBX already exists. And this one, the exported file will also be there here. Oh, you're asking about the exported file? Demo. So demo underscore. Parameter PBX or dat1. There are two files are the demo. Okay, this is the one we have created. Oh, let me just go back and check the why the exported file was not available here. Okay, here I have mentioned what demo underscore PQ, right? I export it as template without query parameter. Okay, export template description, and I'll let it be there. Okay, export a template. So it is asking this folder. Yeah, earlier I did not specify it. Look here, PBIT. Let me clean up my screen. You need to remember the difference between .pbax file extension and .pbat. The .pbax file is larger than, the file size is larger than the PBIT file. The PBIT is the template file. Okay, so the PBIT file, Power BI template file, keeps the report structure and not the data itself. Okay, so what we do is, once we, let's say you are the project leader, you create the report model, data model, design everything here. You create the data model, design all the table related, so design in the sense the relationship between the tables, all the things. Okay, okay, these are the relationship you created. This is the model you created it. Okay, so now you want to share this report with your team members. You are the project leader, you created everything. The team members, what they don't know the data model, design, everything. Okay, so only thing is, when you share this one to them, when they open this report, let's say I shared it with you all. Okay, I am the project leader. I did not share the PBX file. Let's say I shared only the .pabit file. This is the template file only, I am sharing it to you. Instead of sharing the PBIT file, if I share the PBX file, what will happen is, when you open this PBX file, right, the data will be available as part of this report file itself. But when you share this one, you will get only the template. Sort by date modified. Thanks, Srinivas. Modified, right? Okay. Okay, this is the one. Okay. Look here, I just opened which file, Shweta? Which file I opened it? .pbat, right? The .pbat file. So this is the one I shared it with you all. You are the report user. I am the data modeler. Okay, I am the project leader and data modeler. I designed everything, all the data and the report definition, everything is there. So country parameter, for example, if I specify the country value here, for example, Germany here, right? So it will load only Germany related data. It will go and select only the Germany related data. See, only the metadata is there. Since I opened this PBIT file in my system itself, it is with this metadata, it is generating the data automatically. It is just a template. It will have the table name, column name. It will not have the data in it. Since already the data is available in the respective folders, it goes and create the report file now. That's why before you share your report, make sure that only the relevant tables are there in this one. Otherwise, it will go unnecessarily and it will take a lot of time to load the data. In real time, the timing is very less. The complex report requires actually at least 8 days to complete it, but they expect you to complete in 3 days. Look here, what is the file name here? Untitled, right? So now it is untitled. I just selected, one second, let me just, so look here, it opened the, I just clicked on the PBIT file, not the PBX file. PBX file is the one that I showed you earlier, right? I created the parameter, everything. See, this is the one This is where I created the parameter and I tested it. Everything is fine. Now I shared it with you in the form of, by exporting it as a template file. The template file extension is .pbat. If you look at the file size, this is just 42 KB. The PBX file is the one. This is where I created the parameter, everything. I tested it, and the file is 607 KB, because in this report file itself we have the data, everything is available. But whereas in the case of template file, the template file will have only the report data model and queries definition plus parameters, right, without including the actual data. See, it will allow the users to export the definition of the report. What is the definition of the report? The table name and whatever the queries we used it, right? Those are the definition will be there, right? So only the definitions will be there, okay? So it will not have the data in it in the template file. That is the reason why the template file size is very less. How you remove the error, that also tell us. Yeah, I will talk about it later. Okay, I'll explain you. This error is nowhere related to this one. Let's not mix up so many things. Okay, see, I'll do one thing. I will go in a proper sequence. Okay, and what I will do is I'll take up your question at the end, because if I try to answer each and every question, I can do that. But it can, let's instead of going in a first lesson, second lesson, the proper sequence, I don't want to jump from lesson 1 to lesson 7. Okay, so you can ask me questions, I will probably answer it at the end. But whatever it is required, whatever questions that are relevant to the current one, I'll try to answer it. Okay, errors, I know I was about to tell that, but it is not related this one. Okay, I'll tell you that later. Okay, so now you understood how to create the query parameter type, which is any. Just it requires 3 steps to create any type of the parameter, right? So 3 steps involved to create any type. The same thing is applicable for other 2 also. First, create the parameter and map it with the column, whichever column you want to write, you can map it with that. And then third step is test it. That's it. And then you export it and then share it. In real-time scenario, we'll be using more number of parameters, because we want the report to be more dynamic. We don't want the static thing. You just assume that if it is not prompting me to enter country name, what will happen? You need to go to open the transform data and go to country column, and you need to filter it, each and everything you need to filter it. Again, you need to come back here, right? So you don't have to do everything. Okay, now I shared the model. So what will happen is, let's say I shared it with you, I'm the project leader. What you can, if you want any other report, right, visual, for example, I just selected the clustered bar chart, clustered column chart. Here what I do is I can create other report. For example, I just want to see the region wise. Either you can drag and drop, or you just click, check on, create a, you can just check mark this one. Okay, region, it will get copied automatically. I'm going to check mark this sales. Look here, it is displaying the region wise sales, right? So here the axis is region, legend is values or sales. Here some because in this case it shows the region that belongs to Germany country only. Here in the region is test for testing purpose used. Actually, in the Germany country we have only one region. You just assume that this is the region name is North. Okay, you just think that way. Okay, so Germany country. So within, see, the region for each country, different regions are there. For Germany country, this is the region we made sales. So my manager wants sales by the breakdown of the sales by region, and then breakdown of the sales by category and country, right? So he wants to say, so I created 2 visuals. Likewise, you can create, you can use pie chart, and I will explain you when to use which chart later point in time. So now your report is ready. So what you can do is you can share this report with your Germany manager or within your hierarchy, right? You can share it to them. So this report will have only Germany data. Similarly, let's say my company, right? We are operating across the country. Let's say we are operating across 100 countries, right? 100 reports, 100 templates I share to 100 different countries. So when they open the template file, it will prompt them to enter their country name. So if they enter United States, the United States people only can see the United States related data, because the data are available on cloud. Everything is available on cloud. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? Only the United States related data only fetched from the source system file. Hence, it will take lesser time. That is one advantage. So this one, Mukilan, you asked this question, right? So it is more related to this one. Using query parameters, filtering rows. For that kind of scenario, it's a very simple scenario. We can use query parameter. Apart from this, we can use query parameter for the data source also, and even for filter rows, keep rows. I'll explain you little later. Now, before I get into this one, right, we'll take a look at the list of values. So creating a list query from a table column, that is the third one. List of values. Next type of parameters, list of values. It is also more or less same as any, but there is a difference here. As the name suggests, list, we are, instead of asking the user, look here, instead of asking the user, I just close this file here, don't save. I just let me just parameter. So now what I do is I'm going to create another parameter, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify the existing parameter. So I am going to the query parameter. Sorry, here the errors in sales. Okay, I will leave it as it is. I thought of deleting it. I will, to explain, since you asked, right, I will explain to you later, don't worry. Okay, so here just in this thing, right, in this folder we have this country parameter we created. I just double click on the same parameter which I created a while back. I'm going to modify this one. How do I modify this parameter? Click on manage parameter. Alright, so here what I'm going to do is, everything is same. I'm going to change the type of the query parameter to list of values, from any value to list of values. Here what I'm going to do is Germany. You can specify whatever country name you wanted. So United States. So this will have a better control. This will show only, it will allow only Germany, either Germany or United States, right? So it will allow the users to select either Germany or United States only. See, in the case of any, they can type any country name. There also, right, but you are giving the flexibility. The current values United States and default value, you can select whatever you want. It will automatically display this one. See here, whatever value is specified, right, the default value, can I make it Germany, and the current values United States. Okay, I just click on OK. I did nothing, the same parameter. When I clicked on manage parameter, I was able to modify it. I just changed it to list, right, list parameter. Now I'm going to test it out. So in order to test it out, I need to close and apply. Next one is testing. I can remove it now itself. Okay, anyhow, let's not get distracted now. I'm going to close it now. Probably at the end of this one I'll show you. Okay, so now I need to test it out. Click on edit parameters. Look here I can see drop down. So so now I have only two options. Either I can select Germany or I can select United States. Since I specified the default value is United States, it shows United States. Now I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to select Germany. Now you understood, right? When you share this report with your end users, either they can see United States or Germany. So in simple scenarios, for example, in India itself, let's say you are operating business across all the states in India. Okay, Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, all the locations. And you are logically divided the India country into 4 different regions: North region, South region, East region, West region. Okay, so let's say you are the VP sales, or you are the senior marketing manager or senior sales manager. Okay, so you are handling more than one region, north and south you are handling it. So that in that case, list of values is helpful, right? You can give more than one thing, but you should be able to see only north and south region only. He doesn't want to see other region sales performance. He is not interested to view other. Look here, the Germany got filtered, right? If I want to edit parameters and United States, if I select it, if I click on OK, it will filter only the United States related data. It will allow the user to view either Germany or United States. Since I selected United States now, it will go and select only the United States related data. Lavnish. No, Germany is showing, right? Screen is not refreshing my screen. For me, it shows Germany. So now I selected United States, right? Yeah. It will correctly filter it. Look here, United States got filtered. It does the perfect job. So there is no issue here, okay? Yeah, for you it will take some time because it depends on your bandwidth, right? For me, but it will show. Yeah, if my screen is freezing, tell me. Okay, I will probably refresh it. Okay, sometimes for me it will show immediately, but it again depends on your network speed, right? So now you understood the list of values parameter, how to create a list of values. Any parameter you understood, list of values you understood. With the list of values, whatever the values were, right, that you specify it, the users can view only those specific values. Okay, or you are in this case, right, you will have a better control. You are restricting the users to view only the specific locations or specific regions. The next one is query parameter. Query parameter also the same thing. What I am going to do, there is a little bit different. I'll go to query editor, Power Query Editor. First, here I need to create a query here. In this case, what I am going to do is I am going to sales W04 table. In this, we have a country column. That is where we map the see, if it takes time for you to locate, right, after state the country should be there. Fine. If it takes longer time for you to, if you have more number of columns, best thing what you go to view, and you have some option called search option is there here. Not here. I think in the home itself it is available. Even for that we have to search it. Okay, I will tell you later. Okay, set the country here, right? I just come here, and when you select this one, right, so I am going to clear the filter. I just cleared the filter. Now it displays all the country. Okay, when you click on this column name, right, the country, if you click on somewhere here and right click on it, you'll find something called add as a new query, because we are going to create another type of query parameter which is called query parameter. Okay, you can find the list of all the countries. You right click on it and you can remove the duplicates here. You don't want the see New Zealand more than one time it is visible, right? I don't want the duplicate of the country name to be retained in this list, query list. Okay, duplicates are removed. So I'm going to rename this query. See, now look here, but since I selected the country column and right clicked and created the query, right, it shows country thing here. I'm going to give some meaningful name for you to refer. So sometimes you may have to use the combination of query parameter and right, so you should be able to understand whether it is if you have to create more than one query parameter, right? So this is query country. Okay, so now I have created the query list. Second step is I need to use this query list inside my country parameter. Already I'm going to reuse the same thing here. Here, instead of list of values, I'm going to select query here. So hey, create query parameter. Just beneath this you will have a drop down list, query country. Look here, this is what the query country list we have created it. This is the one is available when you click on this drop down list, right? Query country. Remember, first step in this case is you need to create a query list. Okay, and then the second step is you need to map this query country here, okay, in this parameter. Okay, so this is called query parameter. Okay, query type of parameter. Okay, so the next one is I just click on OK, but still we need to go to sales. This is one extra step. Okay, so you need to sales W04 and you just go here, country column, and here text filters equals same parameter. You need to they already, I think, no, yeah, we removed it, where country equals, you need to specify the parameter. Look here, country parameter, since you already created, it's picking up automatically. Click on OK. This is slightly different. Okay, only difference is you need to create a query. Okay, so query list. Okay, the query list is nothing but all the values, unique values in this column, in this case. Okay, and then you need to assign this as part of this one. You need to tell which parameter type you need to use it. So query list parameter you need to use it, query parameter. So okay, which query you created it. So you can create more than one also, right? For example, in this case we have created the query list for on country column. On country column, you can create a query list similar to this, right, for state column also. Okay, so now okay, we are done with this. Close and apply. Step 1 is create the query list, assign the query list as part of your parameter, and then you map the parameter with your respective column. That's it. Next step is test it, whether it is working fine or not. If it is working fine, then you can export as a PBIT file and share it with your end users. Let's say you are sharing it with your sales manager or VP sales, vice president sales. He doesn't have to do all these things, right? Simply he has to enter, when it prompts him, he has to enter which location he wants to see. Edit parameter. If you click on the drop down, you can see all the country name here. Let's say you are the CEO of the company, you should be given an option to view any country's sales performance at any time, isn't it? So in that kind of situation, it is very much helpful. So Indonesia sales, I want to say, click on OK. Indonesia is selected, isn't it? So let's see what happens here. It is loading now. It is, look here, it is refreshing this, or it is look here, Indonesia data got filtered. So now you understood the three types of query parameters. Parameters. One is the any type, and the other one is the any list of values query. These three types of query parameters you learned it, and also you understood when to use what, right? And how to implement all these things, you learned it, right? Okay. So now since you asked, right, I just go to the transform data, and you are asking, Lavnish was asking some question. What is this question? Germany is not showing, how you remove the error. Yeah, I just go to the error part and I'll show you what error. Actually this is yeah, it's also related to sales W04. And here if you see here, okay, in the sales column we have some error here, right? So that's why it was showing error here. Okay, so what you can do is, in this kind of situation, you can either replace the errors by some value, okay, to overcome this issue. Simply do it. But prior to this, I think if you could have watched my previous session, right, I would have explained you so why the error was coming, how to overcome that, right? The very first session of the Power Query Editor. Now error has gone. Okay, we have replaced this by error, sorry, 0. Replace the error by 0. This is one way of doing it. Okay, and now what I am going to do, since we don't have so okay, let me just do one thing. Let me see, are there any other errors are there? No, nothing, right? So I just close and apply. Let us see if we get the same error. One more group is here. I loaded the sales W04 two different times. Look here, let me just, now the error has gone, right? It has gone. Now the question is, why we got that error, sir, first of all. So for that, I explained in the previous session. Anyhow, I will explain it now. In the sales column is a numeric variable, quantitative variable. So in that quantitative variable, for the 4 records, for the 4 values, along with the numeric values, the dollar values were there. Since dollar was present along with the numeric value, it was throwing an error. Okay, so in that case, what we need to do, first remove the dollar and then convert the numeric data. You can watch my other video. Probably I will point you to the video which one you need to refer it. That's why you watch all the videos sequentially. Sales W04 is not there. It should be there, right? It is there, na? Look here, guys. Takes. I know you are busy. Okay, please, first check and then you come back. Okay, and don't panic. Everything is available, right? Fine. Don't worry. So only thing is, I know you are all busy. You are all pressed to get time, right? So I understood. Don't panic, right? Everything is available. I am available. You can ask me, send me message whenever I am free. See, even I am per day I'm working, believe me or not, 16 hours or 17 hours. Okay, and especially Christmas and before COVID and all, right, I stayed inside effectively. So now you understood the query parameter. So now you tell me what is the difference between PBIT file and PBAX file? The interview question. What is the difference between PBIX file and PBIT file? So PBIT file is your template file. In the interview they'll ask you. The templates allow the users to export the definition of the report. I just write it here so that it will be written in your mind. Right, so the template file have the report plus the data model plus the query's definition plus parameters, everything will be there in the template file except the data. Okay, excluding the data. The template file .pbit file size is much smaller. See, in this case we are using KB. In real time it will be like 1 GB file size will be there, or 10 GB will be there, much smaller than .pbax file, because pbax file will have everything, the report, data model, queries definition, parameter, and also the data. Okay, depends on the number of tables that you used it. Okay, so this is your template, right? So template file much smaller. This is another point you need to remember it. Okay, so now the question is, let's say upon receiving the PBIT file, let's say you receive the PBIT file, right, template file. So when you instantiate the template file, right, using the Power BI desktop, it will ask you to enter the value for the parameters, and then it will create a new Power BI desktop report file based upon the contents in your template file. You need to remember this. So these are the thing. Yeah, Bala, PBIT is a template file, PBX larger than PBIT, very good, and fine, that's all. Okay, so these 3 points, if you remember it, that is more than sufficient. I would advise you to watch my video one more time, and wherever it is required, you can pause it and see. On the fly it is difficult to remember many things, right? So that's why I suggest you. And next one is we will jump into finish up just